Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. One of our fans here has sent me a very interesting story, a story I want us to have a look at in this video right now. Standard 8 Mathematics, question 8. Chebukati and Koome were given shillings 815,000 to share in the ratio 2 to 3 respectively. How much did Koome get? Yes. Yes. That's a mathematics paper for class 8. And those students are being asked, Chebukati and Martha Koome were given an amount to share. How much did Koome get? In this video, I want us to have a discussion on that question. And I'll just explain what that question exposes about Martha Koome, Chebukati, and the current political situation in Kenya, and more so, the judiciary. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. If you are to divide some money between Chebukati and Martha Koome in the ratio of 2 to 3, respectively, then it means Martha Koome gets the lion's share of that amount. What does that question mean? That question reinforces the notion that a good majority of Kenyans think and believe Chebukati and Martha Koome were compromised in the just concluded August presidential elections. A good number of Kenyans believes Chebukati single-handedly awarded William Ruto the win, and Martha Koome and her bench were also influenced to just confirm what Chebukati announced. And that kind of a notion is actually penetrating deep among Kenyans. That's what that question is just trying to expose. Kenyans don't have faith and trust in Chebukati, Martha Koome, and her bench. Looking at that question from another angle, it puts the spot on the independence of these independent government institutions and some arms of government. And I'm saying that because naturally, it's expected that IEBC should be working independently without external influence. They should be working independently. That's how the Constitution envisages it. They should be working independently. The judiciary should be working independently. But from the look of things, these institutions are not working independently. They are being compromised by some external forces. And I'm saying that because, and these are things Kenyans will still be discussing in years to come. Even before the elections, all signs were written and clear. Chebukati and William Ruto were reading from the same page. And that was confirmed during the 9th August elections. And from the way Martha Koome and her bench also handled the presidential petition, you can see clearly that they were up to something. Their verdict and their ruling was not based on law, but based on some external influence. So these independent institutions are actually not independent. These arms of government are also not independent. Already they are compromised. And also that question also raises the issue of corruption and the integrity of leaders serving in these institutions. Let's start with the William Ruto's government. We saw corruption cases and some charges being dropped against some leaders now serving in William Ruto's government. We saw corruption case against Aisha Jumwa being dropped, and now Aisha Jumwa is trying to make sure her murder case is also dropped. Currently, she is serving as a cabinet secretary. We saw a rape case against Mithika Linturi being dropped. Linturi is currently serving as a cabinet secretary in William Ruto's government. And also Linturi was charged of incitement some times back. Moses Kuria, this is a known warmonger, a known inciter. He is serving currently in William Ruto's government. So even looking at William Ruto's government, you are seeing the kind and characters serving in that government. They are people clearly, if the law was to be followed properly, they are not fit to hold a public office. And today I saw Aisha Jumwa complaining that somebody called her Mrogi. So she plans on suing the person unless the person comes out in public to apologize. That's the pastor who described her as Mrogi. But Aisha Jumwa again has been calling Raila Odinga Mganga. So you are seeing the hypocrisy here. They want to insult and abuse others, but they don't want to be insulted or to be abused. In our next video, we'll dwell deeply into that issue of Aisha Jumwa and Pastor Kiama, because Aisha Jumwa is now demanding for an apology. And that question, that mathematics question, also just exposes that it might be true that William Ruto never won the elections. Because if at all William Ruto won the elections, then Kenyans could have supported, a majority of Kenyans could have supported Chebukati's announcement. And a good majority of Kenyans could have also supported the verdict from the Supreme Court. But if you look at things objectively, it appears a good majority of Kenyans do not support that verdict by Wafula Chebukati, and they do not also support the verdict that came from the Supreme Court. An indication that Kenyans were very much shocked to see William Ruto being announced the winner. It might be possible that a majority of Kenyans never voted and elected William Ruto as their president. And that's why this notion that maybe money exchange hands is actually sinking deep amongst Kenyans. So it shows maybe William Ruto never won the elections. And that question paper, mathematics paper, also just goes on to really show that some Kenyans, or rather some of these Kenyans serving in these public offices, they also don't respect themselves. Because I don't think, or rather I strongly believe that by now, Martha Koome already knows that Kenyans don't have faith and trust in her and her bench. But you are seeing they are still just in office. I rather die than to resign. They are still just there in office. Kenyans should know and should learn to resign. That's not your personal property or your office or your home. That's a public office. You are serving on behalf of Kenyans. If a majority of Kenyans have lost faith and trust in you, the best thing to do is to resign. Don't hang on to the office. What's wrong with Kenyans? Please, Kenyans, Martha Koome and your team, learn the act of resigning. Yes, learn that act of resigning. Kenyans clearly don't have faith and trust in you. The best thing maybe you should do, and your bench, is to resign, because your continued stay in office is doing this country more damage than good. And Kenyans also look at the Supreme Court as the weakest link in the judiciary. In fact, some Kenyans believes and feels that the lower courts are performing even better than the apex court, the Supreme Court. Martha Koome and your bench, kindly resign. Kenyans have lost faith and trust in you. Resign, please, Madam Justice. Let me stop it there for today. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. And to any other person who want to support our channel, as usual, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.